Guruvaya Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namo. So we're speaking about next card, High Priestess card, number 2 card. This is a very beautiful card, popular card, controversial card. Why? Because many of the tarot readers, many of the occult world is considering this card as a presiding deity of tarot. High Priestess card is ruled by the planet Moon, and so many ways you can understand it. So basically it represents the subconscious mind. In a Vedic understanding, it can be linked to a chitta. Chitta is the fine covering of the soul. Like behind the chitta there is soul. Chitta is still a material element, but it completely covers the soul, and it's the most closest to the soul. So every single experience in the material world, many millions of lifetimes, everything what you have seen, experienced and done is recorded in a chitta. So therefore it's like a massive library of information and of experiences of this world. And you can also link it to the Akash in one way, and you can see it as a presiding deity of all the subconscious mind combined together, and that's how the esoteric people see it. In a Vedic understanding, you can see it's a personal chitta. In a Western occult understanding, you can see it is the kind of like the store bank Akashic records, or the feminine presiding deity of the material world is the Parashakti, like this. So as it is linked to the subconscious mind, now comes the interesting point, because in many tarot cards, the design is done in such a way that it reveals the aspect of magic in tarot. What this means is that everything in the magic is done by the power of penetrating your will, your conscious side, your mind. Desire is like on this card. There's a bow and arrow in front of the High Priestess. So the bow is the mind, and the arrow is like the knowledge, the information. And you direct it in the subconscious mind and you hit it. Yeah, so you put your desire out to this world, and then the subconscious mind sends you the result of that. So everything in psychology, really, and in all this new age philosophy is based on a desire. I mean, on this philosophy that desire brings you what you want, ultimately, yeah? And magicians kind of emphasize more and more on it. And they use the subconscious mind as the target to bring on the effect, if that is clear enough. We'll try to get more to it. In the Vedic understanding, chitta is a very important aspect, because chitta should be pure as possible. So the idea, because everything what you do is a part of your experience, good or bad, it sits in your heart. You cannot really clean it all. Everything what you eat, what kind of movies you look, what kind of experiences you have, people you meet, everything is recorded in the chitta. And the more the pure the chitta, the more higher consciousness. The more contaminated the chitta, the more lower the consciousness. And that's why it's easy to see how better people become better, and people in a tamagun or in a negative experience naturally become lower and lower. Yeah, and people with wicked intentions kind of sink down in the bottom, while people with a better intention go up. Ultimately, it will be balanced, of course. Like it is said in a Vedic knowledge that those demons who sink in the very lowest species of life, and they become extremely demoniac, at some point the Supreme Personality, or God, if you will, if you want to relate to Supreme Person like that, he will come in personal form and kind of releases the soul by killing his body, releases the soul from this material bondage and send him back to the Brahmajyoti where the souls are coming from. So Chitta is important in that understanding. It is subconscious mind, full of experiences, and in everyday readings, High Priestess is really understanding yourself, your psychic nature. And it's a kind of independence, being by yourself, being in an internal world like this. That's why it's also ruled by the moon planet, because moon rules the mind. It's another interesting aspect to see if you really want to see this world and kind of put it into everyday use, High Priestess card and a moon, how you can understand it in everyday aspect, yeah, is you should study Vedic calendar, moon calendar. We got the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, it's also Vedic concept actually. We got the numbers of first, second, third, fourth, like this. But in the Vedic calendar, there is aspects of the moon. Yeah, what kind of moon day it is. Like today, for example, is Dvadasi. So it's the second day of moon increasing. And moon influences on every single person's mind. Every single one. All people sign. Who's living in the same time zone, the moon is ruling their state of mind to some extent. Some more, some less. Good example of this is a full moon. Yeah, there are full moon parties. There is a full moon emergency situations in the world. But if you don't know, all the emergency services, which are the fire department, the hospitals, and the police department, they are the most busy on the day of full moon because that's when most stuff is going on, good or bad. Yeah, they are usually dealing with the negative stuff, but also all the good things are happening on a full moon. Things get completed. Things like if you're in a positive experience, it is taken to the most exalted level. It kind of increasing the volume of that, like the state of mind is increasing. So when you study the Vedic calendar, you will know exactly every day how the people's mind is going to be, how your mind is going to be, and how other people will be. So for example, there is an incredible day called Panchami. That's the best day for business because it's ruled by Lakshmi Devi. People will be like, all the businesses will flourish at that time. So it's good to make business deals, it's good for profit on those days. There's another day called Chaturdasi, which is the day of destruction, and everything will be chopped on this day. So you can be sure that some of the things will come to an end on this day, small or big. You can be sure that people will be more aggressive on this day, they'll be more negative on this day. It's a guarantee to some extent, yeah. Then there is another very interesting day, and this is what you can see perhaps the most easier to recognize in a society in general. It's called Trayodasi. Trayodasi means the 13th day of the moon. Yeah, either increasing or decreasing aspect of the moon. So what is Trayodasi? Trayodasi is the day when Cupid is active. Cupid is the god of love, attraction, seduction. So on that day, you will surely see everyone is very much on their game. Yeah, all the girls dress pretty. All the boys are up for seeing what they can accomplish in this world. The play of opposite sexes is extreme on this day. So, and Trayodasi can land on a Monday. It doesn't have to be a Friday. We all understand Friday, which is ruled by Venus. Yeah. So Friday can be a very dynamic day for finding a partner or going out with your partner or having all these romantic experiences or like this. Yes, so Friday is like a guarantee for this. But actually, in a moon calendar, Trayodasi makes much more impact on your state of mind than Friday. Yeah? So if you know which day is Trayodasi, and you work, for example, in the nightclubs or entertainment industry or just in general with the people, you will see that this day is just unbelievable, like interaction between the people. Like it's like wow, you would think this is a Friday in disguise, yeah. Even if it happens to be in some day like a Tuesday, it will be just with more fire, like Mars power is blended into it, but it'll be with this extra spark for sure, 100%. So this way, if you study the moon calendar, you'll be very how much in the know about what's happening without even looking in the cards or anything. Yes, so I highly recommend you yeah, be aware, be in the moment with these days of the moon based on the Vedic calendar. There's also one more most powerful aspect of the moon calendar. It's called the 11th day of the moon, full moon or new moon. On that day, all the senses go in the maximum demand. Yeah, so your sense of vision wants to see all the pretty things. Your sense of taste want to like eat all the best things. Your sex desires just skyrockets. Like this day, people just go mad in sense enjoyment, especially. Yeah, and on this day, if you can fast, means you cut out all this demand of the senses. In the Vedic calendar, if you're fasting on this day, means you don't eat any grains. Ultimately, if you like, how you say, able to control everything at once and you're not gonna eat anything, no grains, no fruits, no water, and you'll be able to fast this entire day and break the fast at the right time and the sunrise time. After the sunrise, the fast with the one piece of grain, then you can absolutely reform your life more fast than any other way. Yeah? You can destroy all your bad karma. You can accomplish all your desires. You can make spiritual progress like no one else. It's an ultimate strategy for accomplishing anything. Yeah. So, in the Vedic world, tapasya or austerity is considered to be the root cause of all the success. Yes, so anyone who wants something has to do some austerity and therefore they get something. So it's something like working hard, getting paid, or studying something with taking a lot of pain on studying, and then you're putting it into use, you're getting fruit. That's like very basic understanding of austerity. But in Vedic, it's like you actually going through some hardship in the right time for the right reason, and if you do it perfectly well enough, you get an amazing result. So lots of demons, they accomplish all their powerful agendas by the austerity. They just go someplace, some forest, some mountains, some desert. They do some incredible austerity, and then they want some power, and that's how they get it. Not recommending this method really, because the idea is like we're living in a Kali Yuga. Things like this are very complex, and what you want really is to progress something good for your soul. So out of all these austerities, which there are millions of different ones, millions, literally, Ekadasi is the most powerful, it's the most rewarding experience. So search into it, read some stories about it, and see what you can do. If you fast on this day, even once in your lifetime, you change your life completely. So big secret, High Priestess card, matters of the subconscious mind, chitta, and how to make the best out of it. Alright, take good care, see you later.